Hey guys, welcome to Vancouver Talk Mate again. This is Mati Ibrahim, and today we have John Daston with us. He is someone who started from survival jobs, but later on he became a successful nurse practitioner who is practicing in a hospital, and also he's having his own patients, a successful life that everyone is dreaming about. But let's hear from him. How was it to come from the Philippines and start his dream job again here, and how is it working as a nurse in Canada? Because we heard it's so hard to get the exams done, it's so hard to deal with the patients, it's a heavy work. But let's hear the story and let's welcome him. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming here, John.
Thank you so much for having me, Mati.
Can you let us know a little bit about yourself?
So as Mati has introduced me already, my name is John. I am a transplant here from the Philippines, and I came to Canada around 10 years ago. Now I work as a nurse practitioner, and I have my own set of patients, and I provide healthcare to a lot of people here.
That's amazing. I know it's so hard and it takes a long time. It's a great thing to do, and you're happy that you did it. You didn't give up.
Thank you. I mean, it was a lot of work, but
I know.
In the end, it's worth it.
So you grew up in the Philippines and had the background of healthcare. But what was the biggest shock and difference you noticed when you landed in Canada?
I think for me, I thought I was really good with English, you know?
Oh yeah, that can be one of the greatest things.
Yes, because I thought that I was really good at it because I had almost a perfect score with my English. When you come here and you speak with other native speakers, then you feel like, oh my God, this is not something that I can easily understand. It took a while for me to adapt, but I think that is the biggest thing for me. And I am already educated in English in school, so it was kind of surprising for me.
Oh my God, yeah. For people who are coming and don't know anything about English, it's so hard.
Of course.
Even if you know from like some other countries, when you came here, it's different. The way that they're speaking, the accent and everything. But that's great.
Of course. I mean, you have to learn, right? And the accent makes a lot of difference.
We know when you come right away, you cannot just get into the healthcare system here in Canada. You had to work in a survival job or something, and then we know that you work in a restaurant, maybe I guess Tim Hortons. And then what was it looking like to work in a survival job in a restaurant with a professional background of healthcare and in a fast food environment and a new country? How was it?
I mean, I think it's every newcomer's struggle, especially those who have a profession back home, as you know. It took a lot of time for me to get over that initially, but then again, coming here, I expected to be starting from zero because you're immigrating. You just cannot be the profession that you are, you know. It was a bit tough in the beginning, but then I was like, this is where everybody starts. Most immigrants actually start at a job like that. So I'm grateful, you know, I was able to overcome that part of me. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard to begin with.
I know.
Yeah.
You had studied like more than 2 years, as I know, when you came here for qualification to get back to healthcare system. How did you manage your time? Like, what keeps you to not give up? Because I know it's so hard to work and also to study at the same time, because you have to make money at the same time while you're studying.
I mean, it was very challenging because it took me around, I think, 2 years to fully be immersed in the profession again, because there's so many qualifications you need just to prove that you are worthy of a title here in Canada. So 2 years, you start with an exam. They pretty much assess if you are qualified based on what you are back home. It was tough. It's a long process. And you know, with that, you're working full-time at a different job that you have to learn again, that I had no background with. But, you know, working and then going to school, refreshing your skills, it was tough. You have to learn. You're learning the language, you're learning the culture, you're going to school, and you're also working. So I think it takes a lot of resilience and patience on yourself, because it's very easy for you to give up.
Exactly.
It's very easy, but you just have to, think about if it's worth it in the end. And I think it's worth it in the end.
Exactly, it's worth it.
Mhm.
And right now, especially with this community, that we need a lot of people in healthcare.
Of course.
It
Of
takes a
course.
long time to find a family doctor. So,
Yes.
yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we know that you didn't start your journey right away in BC. So you came in a different province and then you
Yes.
moved to British Columbia. Why did you decide to pick up and move to BC? Like, was it transition easier here or something about it?
Healthcare and licensing for a nurse, I was an RN. I was actually attempting to get an RN. But the thing with the province that I came from, it was gonna take me around 3-4 years to actually be assessed for my credentials. But BC at that time had a pilot project. So the pilot project has allowed me to test. It was an entirely new process, and they said that I can apply, but because it's a new process, I would just have to test one time. And then I would not have to wait like 2-3 years for the assessment. But the risk is if I fail it, then I have to go back to square one, or I have to go back to school.
Oh my God.
You
have to start from again. It would be like 4 years, I guess.
Yes, exactly. So at that time, I was like, should I just take the risk or not? Because I was like, time is ticking, time is running. I'm running out of resources. I'm running out of money. And then my skills, because your skills and knowledge, they pass,
If you don't work, you will get forget.
But I'm thankful with BC, because other provinces, it's just very convoluted, the process. It's very confusing because we don't have a national system, unfortunately, for my profession to be accredited. So you'll have to learn each province. And BC is the fastest one that reached out to me and gave me a chance. It was a huge risk, but I think it's worth it to try that. And the new process is actually much better now. Everybody is under the new process, and it's actually even faster. The credential,
it's even better and easier.
Yes, it's easier in BC. Other provinces, I don't know, because credentials is not national. So
if somebody have the background of healthcare and they want to do it, I think BC is the best. As he is saying, he have more experience. So research about it and do it carefully, guys.
I mean, other provinces also have their own process, but I think BC just has more technology and capacity to license people right now. So I think it works for everyone. There's so many professionals out there.
I know, but it's still the paperwork and for a lot of international nurses, the paperwork and all these medical exams in Canada is like a nightmare.
Oh, of course. It's terrifying.
Oh, yeah. But what kind of exams did you have to take, and how hard was the process for you?
So at that time, I think the process is like this. You would have to do a quick test and see. It's a written test, actually. And then you do what you call a practical test. The written test is a test of just your knowledge in nursing. But the practical test, they actually ask you to do a role play situation with a fake patient. And they will assess. Yes. And they assess everything that you do. Like from the moment that you enter the room, the way that you approach a patient, the way you talk to a patient, and the way that you would respond to a change. So that requires a lot of skill, and you actually have to know a little bit about the healthcare system in Canada for you to pass that.
Yeah, because it's so different.
Of course, the criteria is very different, but I think you have to have some base knowledge prior to taking that assessment.
That's great to know. So you go into a room and then there is a patient, you have to deal with it the way that you deal with it. So something that would be so much different actually, because each country have their own ways. So you have to study about it, learn about it, and then go for it. And if you can fail it, oh my God, then you have to do 4 years.
Mind you, that's just the assessment part.
Okay.
So after you finish the written and the practical assessment, they will let you know if you are fit enough to practice, or if you need to study a little bit, or just do practicum, or do a lot more. So it really depends on your personal skill.
That's great to know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for letting us know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're welcome.
you went through all these training right around like maybe after COVID-19, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you successfully even got your Canadian citizenship. And
Yes.
looking back to the timeline, how does it feel to become a Canadian citizenship and see your Canadian citizenship certificate with a lot of the struggles that you had all the way to become a practitioner nurse?
I mean, I think for me, it's a lot of gratitude because this country has allowed me to become who I am right now. I got my citizenship, full disclosure, before COVID, so it was different. I got my RN in Canada 2 years prior to my citizenship. But once I got my citizenship, I was just happy because I was like, it just paid off in the end. It's not really easy. So it takes a lot of blood and sweat, but in the end, it's worth it. You just have to have a lot of faith, not only in the country, in yourself too. Because it's difficult to start from scratch in a foreign country, especially for people who don't have anybody here.
Exactly. Have some tea. We have tea here.
Oh.
I don't know if you're into tea, but this is something from Afghanistan. Like we
really?
drink Afghan tea.
What is in it?
It's just green tea.
Okay.
I love it.
That's lovely.
And then this is the way of hospitality in Afghanistan. When we have a guest, like they have kind of dry fruits. I couldn't find the rest, but it's something feel free to have.
Okay.
And we know that you're even someone who is a fan of soccer. You like soccer.
Yes.
And these days FIFA is going on in Vancouver.
Yes.
We're so much like, what should I say? Like we are so lucky that we have this opportunity here just around the corner.
Exactly.
So which team do you like the most?
Honestly, I'm just rooting for Canada. I know it's our first World Cup. Actually, the match today was the first of the round of 32 and we won. Go Canada.
Oh my God.
I'm rooting for Canada. This is where I live now. Canada has given me so much. So this is my way of giving back. Support our CanMT team.
I love the way that they support everything, especially the soccer. I can see it literally. The Prime Minister was there the other day when Canada was playing with Qatar, and he was like going with the team, talking with them. It was so good, like the way that they are making them to do it for their country, and day by day they are doing better and better.
Oh yeah, it was a great match. It was a great match. It's great to have FIFA here for the first time.
For the first time, and we live just nearby.
It's just happy everywhere, and I think the city needed that.
Exactly. So for people who are watching that, not knowing that, like who might not know, can you explain how is it to be a nurse practitioner? What a nurse practitioner does, and what are the responsibilities? Is it similar to a doctor? Because I know you have patients, like you treat them, like you give them the medication.
Of course.
I don't know. Can you explain a little bit?
I mean, to become a nurse practitioner in Canada, you have to become an RN first. So to become an RN, you need a bachelor's degree from university, around 2 to 3 years. And then you need to be working as a registered nurse for at least another 2 to 3 years. And once you have that experience, then you can apply to a master's school, which we have only, I think, 2 universities, like right now, who are capable of enrolling students. And then you have to do full-time studies and a master's, clinical practicums with other nurse practitioners and doctors. And then after that, take the board exam again to qualify. Yes, but it's a little bit different because as a nurse, you are supposed to carry out orders and give direct care to patients. But for us, we have a lot of independence. I see my own patients. We almost have the same scope as a physician, but there are certain limitations in the way that we do things. It really is depending on what your expertise is. Like, to give you an example, some nurse practitioners do provide pregnancy care
Mm-hmm.
if they're trained with that. Others can do chemotherapy if they are trained with cancer treatment. But not all primary care NPs can do that. You need a lot more certification for you to do that. But it's almost the same scope of practice because we're allowed to assess, allowed to diagnose, allowed to treat, prescribe, and we can also refer patients to other providers.
So, wait, I have to fix this for you. I can't control myself.
Is it like out?
No, it's all good.
Okay.
So now that you have your own successful practice and you're having your own patients, what kind of patients do you see the most?
I mean, nurse practitioners are able to provide care to everyone. But I practice in the downtown core. So just a broad, privacy confidentiality, but the broad scope of my patients in the community are from the LGBT community, just because I am at a place where that type of population is in, But I get everyone. I provide care to babies, to seniors, almost everyone. A lot of in the downtown core as well, mental health. So that kind of stuff. It's central to practice. It's a little bit different, long-term care as well. But the practice is mainly focused on primary care and LGBT medicine, at least in the downtown core.
What about the homeless people or people who are using a lot of drugs? I heard that mostly hospitals are so busy dealing with this situation, especially in downtown, because Vancouver is somewhere which is having a hot weather, not like a harsh winter. So we have a lot of people from around the Canada here. And then, is that a challenging part or something for you guys or no?
I mean, it's a very sensitive topic for sure, because I also have patients who are unhoused. We try to provide care as much as we could to the point that our capacity allows. Because, there are also limitations with what the healthcare system can do. And I think this is a very complex issue that has to be dealt with by all levels of government. Us providers are not able to solve fully everything. We need support from government, higher levels. We need support from enforcement, from everyone. Because it's very complex. It's actually a very sensitive issue because I also provide care to that type of population. But people have different needs, special needs. So it is quite challenging. But, there is hope. I know people are a little bit, it's a sensitive topic. That's what I would say.
It is, yeah. Even I know, like, some of them, they didn't choose to be homeless. They didn't choose to use drugs because sometimes the situation makes you to do it. Sometimes when they are homeless, like they don't have any money or something, they end up in the streets, but then the winter is like a little bit hard for them, or like they're getting cold and they see the other people are using some medications to feel high or feel warm, and they do the same, and then they stuck with that situation and they end up to be someone who is using drugs. But it's not a choice. Sometimes it happens to them, but we're hopeful. They can, if you want to change something, you can change it, and hopefully they will have a better future because they are so beautiful. I see them like, it's like I'm like such a beautiful people. They should not be like this, and I'm hopeful. I mean, our healthcare system can help them, and maybe they can help them. There would be some point that they will decide to do it. I'm hopeful. I
mean, of course, there's always like hope for things, but again, as providers, we're there to help in case people need us, because that's what we do. We help people.
Exactly. So medical work is, I know it's so heavy. Something so much challenging, sometimes difficult to manage the patients and stuff. But what was the most challenging part, and what was the most rewarding part? Or maybe what is the most rewarding and challenging part for you? Can you let us know a bit? Because if someone wants to become a nurse, they have to know.
I mean, in terms of becoming a nurse practitioner, the challenge lies in the education, because Canada is very competitive just when you go to apply for bachelor's. As a part of the job, I think the challenge is actually having to, it's a conflict, I would say. Your availability for everyone, that is actually the main issue. Because we have so many patients, we cannot be available for everyone at once. That is and also establishing trust with your patients. Because in the beginning, your patients are strangers to you, and they're also a stranger to you. You're a stranger.
You're a stranger to
yes,
them. Yes,
I'm a stranger to them. Yes, exactly. So it takes a lot for someone to open up to me. And that is a cornerstone of being a provider and a patient. You must have that relationship to be able to discuss uncomfortable issues.
Yeah, it's like you cannot share everything.
Yes, exactly. But the most rewarding part is when I see my patients improve. My patients who, for example, I'll give you an example. So a patient who has uncontrolled hypertension, and they do not even know that they have hypertension. And then we counsel them, they make changes to their health, and of course, sometimes we do prescribe medications for them. And then months from now, they are hypertension free.
Wow.
And their blood pressure is like back to normal. And they're happy because they're like, oh, I didn't even know that I have this problem. So thank you for making my life much better. You know, when patients improve and they thank you that they are improving, then I think that's one of the best feelings I have, like as a provider.
That must be so amazing to see someone become healthy.
Of course, because you change their lives.
Yeah,
and when you change people's lives, it's really, really rewarding.
Yeah. A beautiful part of the journey of someone who is living abroad would be if they are with family.
Yes.
I don't know if you are with the family or not, but when you're studying and then you have a lot of struggles while studying, was there someone with you, like a family member or someone to be on your side, because it's so challenging?
I mean, that's a difficult question to answer, because, you know, everybody's situation is a little bit different. Like for me, I had extended family in here because my aunt and my grandma was here.
Wow.
It's different when you have that support, family cheering you on. It keeps you going. It keeps you alive because you know that there's someone there always rooting for you. No matter what happens, if you're tired at the end of the day, if you're having a really hard time, you can always talk to someone, you know. But again, Canada is the land of immigrants. And I have also met my chosen family in here, aside from my real family. And that makes a lot of difference. Sometimes it actually even makes more of a difference, you know?
They're the people you choose to be with you on your side.
Exactly.
Not somebody give it to you by the blood or the
Exactly.
But that's so good. Yeah, to have someone like that. Trust, to talk,
of course.
To share everything.
Exactly. Because, you know, you can only go too far sometimes. You also have to be a little bit independent in this country, I would say. Nobody's an island, but you have to also be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Exactly. It's good to have support, but you also have to be strong yourself. Yes.
When I was coming here, even they were like, we have a home, you can come and live with us in the underground, but it's like for free, you can study or live here. But I said, no, I want to live alone to learn how to stand on my feet. How is it to make your own money, to have your own life?
Of course.
There's a lot of challenges, but it still makes you strong every day. Never be afraid of challenge.
Exactly.
Each challenge is a lesson for you.
Exactly.
Not today, tomorrow. You will learn something and you will become stronger. That's what helps as well.
Exactly.
Especially my friend circle as well, as you say.
Of course. I mean, when you go down, just get back up. That's it.
So if an international trained nurse is watching right now, from the Philippines or another part of the country, what are the exact tips or advice you would give them to become a nurse practitioner here?
I mean, it depends. If they're looking to be an RN, I mean, like their own original profession back home, just don't give up. The road is tough. I am not gonna sugarcoat that. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna cost you a lot of sweat, blood, tears, sleepless nights. But in the end, it's worth it. When they give you that certificate, that paper that says you are now a licensed professional in Canada, that's something that I cannot explain. You cannot buy that. That is something that you need to feel. It's a tough road. It's going to be tough. It's like a mountain almost, but don't give up. That's all I'm going to say. Don't give up. Sometimes people stop right in the middle. And it's not going to be easy. Just don't stop. Don't stop.
But like you said, the steps, like for example, I am someone who have worked as a
Yes.
nurse in my home country and I'm coming to
Yes.
BC right away.
Yeah.
Where should I go first? Which place?
You should apply to the BC colleges. BC College of Nurses and Midwives, BCCNM.
Do I have to do any kind of like a credential evaluation?
Yes. So first, I think you contact the college, and then they will let you know what credential assessment you would need.
They
to
would
do.
accept it.
Yes. But I think there's a lot of requirements right now because you would need your transcripts back home. You would need your work certificates back home. Or I'm not sure if that's optional or not right now, but you also need a passing English exam.
Passing English.
Yes. The best way is to reach out to the college. That's the initial
They will let
first
you
step.
know.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to go
Mhm.
through the assessment, and
Yes.
then you have to study
Yes.
for a while, and that's it.
And assessment is individualized. I think if you have a lot of knowledge and skill and
Mhm.
experience back home, then I think you just need to bridge probably some gaps with the Canadian system to learn the ins and outs of healthcare here. But in the end, I think you should reach out to them and see if your skills are up to par with their standards.
How long do you think they should expect for it?
It's individualized, really. Because for me, it took like 2 years.
2 years.
From start to finish, it took 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that includes the time that you spend studying, the time you spend with the credentials assessment. Right now, probably a realistic timeline is around 2 years or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard they shortened it a little bit. So it probably will still take up to 2 years. Okay, to be honest.
That's great. Because if it takes like 3 or 4 years, why they shouldn't study from the beginning? But maybe that's more expensive. I don't know much.
I mean, it really depends on what you like, or
Mm-hmm.
you just have to be patient.
So one of the greatest questions in Vancouver Talk Mate is always, if you had the power to change just one thing in Vancouver community or in the healthcare system, what it would be?
I mean, as a provider right now, I would like us to have more providers because we need more people. We need more nurses. We need more doctors. We need more nurse practitioners. We just need a lot more because the population of Vancouver is growing, not just Vancouver, BC. So we have to have a lot more professionals to serve the public.
If you're a professional and hearing it right now, if you have the background of it, I know even right now a lot of friends that have the background of being a nurse or a doctor back home, but they still didn't move forward. They're just working in survival jobs. They think it's so hard to get it. So please move forward. You have to know people of Canada needs you. And you will enjoy it when you step into the role after finishing all these struggles. You will know that it will work.
I mean, if it's your calling, by all means go for it. The main reason that I went to this profession is I wanted to help. In the end, amidst everything, if you want to help people, this is where you should be.
Exactly.
Help everyone. Everyone.
What is the main message for someone like a newcomer and who's stuck in a survival job, but they think that that's it, and they want to get back to their professional job, but still they think that's so hard or something? What would be your advice for them?
I mean, as I said to you a while ago, it's not going to be easy. Because you need to study English, you need to pass English, you need to pass an assessment, a written assessment, a practical assessment, a board exam if you require it. But if you really want to get back to your profession and in the end help people, you should learn to be again independent and patient, because sometimes things just don't go your way. You know, a lot of challenges ahead because you're gonna be working, you're gonna have sleepless nights, you're gonna stay up late, you're not gonna have a lot of time for yourself. But I think it also requires a little bit of sacrifice on our part. But in the end, it's worth it because we made it here. Some of my colleagues are the same as me. Most of my colleagues working in the hospitals started out like me. Actually, people actually told me in here that my journey is very Canadian, very immigrant, because I came here, I worked at Tim Hortons, Canadian coffee, and then I struggled a little bit, and then I worked my way up. I studied, I passed all the credentials, and then I made it. So in the end, it's really up to you. Just chase your dreams. If this is what you want to become, there are people like us, people, not just me, my colleagues. Anywhere you go, if you see a successful immigrant, it's not because it was easy. We sacrificed so much to be here. People think it's easy. They just see the stars behind everything. But with that success comes a price. Always. There would be a time where you would be stepping outside the bus, look at the sky, and you would be like, what am I even doing? And then again, when you get that paper from Canada that says, you made it, you're a citizen, and you're now a nurse, nobody can take that away from you. It's a feeling that only you, it's divine. That's what I can say. And it's for everyone, not even just healthcare professionals, for everyone. If you have a profession back home, don't give up. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much, John, for sharing your roadmap and being with us today. Mm-hmm. Anything if you want to say as a last thing, then all the people who are watching is with you. But still, we're happy to have you.
I think it's a lot of opportunity in this country. Mm-hmm. There's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Always.
Exactly. The same thing as my sister was always saying, yes. That if there is a well, there is a way.
We endured so much. You endured so much. You got on that plane, went here. And that's just the beginning of your journey. And hopefully your journey becomes like one of my colleagues and one of us. So welcome. Welcome to the country. We love for you to be here.
Thank you so much. Your story proves that the hard work have a great outcome. And then if you want to go for your passion, if you want to have a great success in your life, you have to do all these things. You have to go through all these challenges. But at the end, the fruit is so much delicious. Mm-hmm. And you can get the things that you want if you go for it. As you say, if there is a well, there is a way. To our viewers, if you know anyone, a newcomer who is struggling in a survival job, or anyone who was a nurse practitioner or a nurse back home or a doctor, please share this episode with them so they can get advantage from it. And also, let's show them what is possible. This is Vancouver Talk Mate, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for being.
I'm just gonna clap for my colleagues. We made it.
We have to clap for everyone.
Yes. We made it.
Thank you so much for being here.